Imagine a weapon so impossibly small it's completely invisible, where a single molecule facing the wrong direction kills instead of cures. For decades, scientists were totally blind to this. Nature hides its most powerful weapons in these microscopic labyrinths. And deciphering the exact shape of just one of these molecules can become a multi-decade obsession for the world's absolute brightest minds. In this explainer, we are launching into the ultimate high-stakes forensic investigation. We're going to uncover exactly how we look into the invisible, measure the untouchable, and map out nature's ultimate chemical labyrinths.
Because you have to understand, figuring out a molecule's exact shape isn't just some dry academic exercise. It is a monumental architectural nightmare. Think about being handed a shredded blueprint for a skyscraper, ripped into thousands of overlapping fragments. And to make it worse, some of the pieces are chemically identical to others. Oh, and no flat drawing could ever capture the structure anyway, because the building itself twists and folds into these incredibly complex three-dimensional shapes. When it comes to biology, the connectivity and the geometry are absolutely everything. 80,000. Let that number sink in for a second. That is the staggering number of known terpenoids, which is the largest and most structurally diverse class of natural products on planet Earth. We're talking about everything from the scent of a pine forest to the most potent chemical defenses found in bizarre deep-sea organisms. The sheer variety of forms is breathtaking. And telling those forms apart, deciphering the exact recipe of their structure, well, that is the foundational detective work at the very heart of natural product chemistry.
And the real-world stakes of this puzzle? They are literally life or death. Just look at Taxol, the famous anti-cancer drug isolated from Pacific yew bark. When researchers first purified it back in 1971, they were confronted with this dizzying, absolute mess of interlocking rings and oxygen atoms. It took them years just to decipher the basic structure, and the total synthesis wasn't actually achieved until 1994. That is an agonizing delay, a delay that meant waiting for a scalable supply of this drug while cancer patients desperately needed it. So why was it so impossibly hard? Well, it comes down to what is, for my money, the most beautiful contradiction in all of biology. Every single one of those 80,000 wildly complex terpenoids descends from just one tiny Lego brick. It's called isoprene. It's a simple 5-carbon building block shaped roughly like a branched hand. Literally every sprawling, complex terpenoid in nature is just this exact same fundamental unit repeated and folded endlessly into empty space.
And this single unit triggers an absolute architectural explosion. Back in 1939, Leopold Ruziczka actually won a Nobel Prize for formalizing this with the isoprene rule. Basically, these hand-shaped units stitched together head to tail, coupling exactly like train cars on a track. 2 units give you a monoterpene. Think of those volatile scents of lemon and pine. 4 units give you a diterpene, which is the heavy-hitting family Taxol belongs to. 6 units build triterpenes, like cholesterol precursors. It's exactly like a child building with identical Lego bricks. With 10 bricks, you build a car, but as you add more and more bricks, you completely detonate a combinatorial explosion of possibilities.
So what does this all mean for us? It means 2 molecules can have the exact same atomic formula, the exact same raw ingredients, yet their unique 3D folding makes them entirely different beasts. A chemist stirring at a purified sample in a lab knows the raw ingredient list, sure, but they do not know the recipe. And it is that precise recipe, the 3D geometry, that determines whether a molecule is a miraculous cancer cure or if it just does absolutely nothing at all. Before we had modern technology, chemists had to rely on something called degradation chemistry, which, honestly, is literally like trying to figure out how a complex pocket watch works by smashing it with a hammer and then painstakingly cataloging the gears and springs that scatter across the floor. Pioneers like Otto Wallach used controlled chemical reactions to systematically cleave specific carbon-carbon double bonds, basically mapping out where the reactive spots were hiding by looking at the pieces that fell out. You learn what components exist, sure, but reconstructing how they originally fit together, that requires enormous mind-bending inference.
And this gives you a humbling sense of the human effort involved here. Mapping a molecule like cholesterol, which is a triterpenoid derivative, took roughly 40 years of stubborn, agonizing persistence across multiple laboratories. 40 years! And even then, an early proposed structure was later found to be completely incorrect. Before the era of modern machines, structural chemistry was just as much a dark art of intuition and sheer stubbornness as it was a hard science.
But then, everything changed. What if you didn't have to break the watch to see exactly how the gears connect? What if we could look inside the unbroken watch? We are talking about the spectacular spectroscopic revolution that changed structural chemistry forever. overnight, turning a decades-long ordeal of smashing and guessing into a highly precise mapping operation that takes mere days.
Enter the absolute crown jewel of modern chemistry, nuclear magnetic resonance spectroscopy, or NMR for short. You place the intact molecule inside an extraordinarily powerful magnet, and you ping it with radio waves. This causes the nuclei of specific atoms, like hydrogen and carbon, to resonate and broadcast tiny signals back to you. And here is the sheer genius of it. Each atom's signal is subtly colored by its neighbors. It is exactly like identifying which room of a massive house someone is calling you from just by listening to the echo and the background noise of their voice.
And welcome to the modern two-dimensional NMR toolkit. Because today, we aren't just listening to one echo anymore. We are running highly sophisticated spatial experiments. An experiment called COSY tells us exactly which hydrogens are directly bonded to each other. HMBC traces longer-range connections, letting chemists systematically map the skeleton of the molecular skyscraper atom by atom. And NOESY? NOESY detects atoms that are physically close in 3D space, even if they are super far apart on the chain itself. It's like discovering that two rooms on totally opposite ends of a floor plan actually share a wall because the entire building folds back on itself.
Now, if NMR maps the rooms and the walls, mass spectrometry is like taking a closed suitcase and weighing it with such staggering, mind-bending precision that you know the exact combination of items inside based solely on that final number. High-resolution mass specs can determine molecular formulas to within a fraction of a single atomic mass unit. It answers the one fundamental question NMR sometimes struggles with: exactly how much does this entire structure weigh? Oh, and we can still smash things, but now we do it with pure energy. By ionizing and deliberately fracturing the molecule, instruments like GCMS, that's gas chromatography coupled to mass spectrometry, create a wildly distinct fragmentation fingerprint. The pattern of these broken pieces allows chemists to rapidly identify known terpenoids on the fly. We can now analyze dozens of volatile components in a complex essential oil in minutes, literally minutes, a task that would have consumed months of agonizing degradation work just a century ago. But even with the suitcase weighed and the internal rooms totally mapped out by NMR, we're left staring at the final, most demanding frontier: absolute stereochemistry. This is the precise left or right-handedness of the molecule in 3D space. You see, many terpenoids exist as mirror image forms. They look totally identical in formula, but they behave radically differently in biology. A single stereochemical mistake, assigning the left hand when nature actually built the right, can send a multi-million-dollar pharmaceutical synthesis completely off a cliff, leaving scientists chasing a useless molecule for years.
So to lock down this incredibly precise 3D geometry, chemists demand absolute, undeniable proof. The gold standard here is X-ray crystallography, which reads diffraction patterns to produce an exact, frozen photograph of the atoms in space. But there's a huge catch. The molecule absolutely must form a well-ordered crystal, and many stubbornly refuse to do so. When crystals just won't form, chemists have to pivot to chiroptical methods. They bridge advanced experimental light physics, measuring exactly how the structure interacts with polarized light, and then match it against cutting-edge quantum chemical computer predictions.
So, what's the ultimate takeaway from all this? It's that no single machine holds the magical answer. Unlocking a complex terpenoid demands the deliberate, triangulated dialogue between hypothesis and hard evidence. You use mass spectrometry to fix the formula. You use multidimensional NMR to probe the spatial proximity and build the skeleton. And then you use crystallography or computationally validated chiroptical methods to absolutely lock down the configuration. It is an iterative, relentless cycle of rigorously testing every single data stream until literally no contradiction remains.
Which brings us to a really sobering reminder to leave you with. This field has grown so treacherously complex that a significant number of published natural product structures have later required revision. The puzzle can still fool the world's leading experts. The lesson of Taxol, of cholesterol, and of countless revised molecular blueprints is that intellectual humility, paired with just unrelenting methodological rigor, is the only sure path through nature's most elaborate molecular labyrinth. So, if we are still making revisions today, you really have to wonder, just how deep does nature's molecular labyrinth truly go?